Man, I haven't did one of these in a good little minute, but Def Jam, we gotta talk. What's up, everybody, man? Y'all know who I be. It's your boy Pooh, CYGG, man. I'm back with another video, and today I'm about to be talking about how Def Jam plans on continuing a sequel to my favorite fighting game of all time. Yes, my favorite fighting game of all time is Def Jam Fight for New York. And if y'all don't believe me, look here. Blah, blah. I still got it. I still got it. I ain't got rid of it. You know, and then I got the fat PS2, so you know it's real. Yes, it's the fat one. Now, basically, in this video, I'm going to be addressing the tweet from Def Jam, which is, which one do you want to see it? Well, where would you like to see it take place next? That's basically what it says. Now, I plan on addressing 4 topics, and those 4 topics that I plan on addressing is where it should take place next and why it should take place there. Explain the game to those who don't understand, you know, how the game is constructed, and they're giving too many big ideas to a game that's very simple and not that complex. I'm going to also be addressing in number 3 the core of the game. What do I feel like they should go with, what I feel like they should bring back, and what I feel like they should not do. And number 4, I'm going to be explaining the bosses. Who would I like to see as a boss in Def Jam Fight for wherever I feel like it should take place. So let's go. Number 1, man. Number 1, I feel like it should take place in Atlanta. I feel like the game should be Def Jam Fight for Atlanta. The reason why I feel like it should take place in Atlanta is because just like in the older days, New York was really popping. So saying Def Jam Fight for New York really helped sell the game just off the title alone. And, you know, people got into it, you know, knowing that New York was hot at the moment. But right now, Atlanta is the hottest place. Right now, Atlanta is the hottest place to go, man. And, you know, putting Def Jam Fight for Atlanta is really going to help that game sell a lot because that's where most of the hottest artists are going. Number two, I'm about to explain this game to y'all who don't understand how Def Jam works. Def Jam is a wrestling game, and basically, you know, it's under the wrestling category. It's a wrestling and fighting game. The game basically builds itself around taking over clubs and venues. The game is based around taking over clubs and venues from your opposing, you know, the opposing owners or whatever else like that. So I'm seeing a lot of people say stuff like, oh man, it should be Def Jam, you know, you should have all the people from Chicago, you know, go up against the people in Los Angeles, go up against the people in Texas and Miami and stuff like that. Like, no, that's stupid. The reason why, because the game is based around taking over clubs and venues within that area. And if you understand, if you play Def Jam Fight for New York, everybody was fighting for the clubs that was within the New York area. Now, if you add other states and try to make the game too big, you're going to mess up the game. And the reason why, because if I take over all the clubs in New York, why in the hell am I worried about some clubs in California? Like, it clearly doesn't make any sense. So, of course, some of you guys who are like, oh yeah, you should be able to drive around and do all this. No. Def Jam Fight for New York is a wrestling-based game. There's nothing that should be free roam about it. And the reason why, because once you start to add free roam to games who clearly don't need free roam, you start to mess up the game, and developers start to worry about the free roam aspects more than they start to worry about the gameplay itself. And that can mess up the game as well. It'll just be a bunch of rappers on the game that sucks. So if you ask me, they just need to keep it in that way, just like the old Def Jam Fight for New York, man. You just need to keep it in one place. You need to bring all those rappers to that place. Also, I'm also explaining this to those who don't understand. Just because the game is based in a different place doesn't mean that it's only going to be those rappers there. So just because the game is called Def Jam Fight for New York, you see that Snoop Dogg was the boss. You see that Lil Flip and Ludacris and them were in the game. They're from the South. So just because it says Def Jam Fight for New York or Def Jam Fight for Atlanta doesn't mean that it's only going to be Atlanta rappers in the game. I want y'all to understand that, and I really want to get that through some people's head who feel like the title determines what rappers will be in the game. No, whatever rappers they can get in the game will be in the game. Number three, I feel like, you know, they need to go back with their primary concept of Def Jam Fight for New York. And the reason why I feel like they need to keep it at Def Jam Fight for New York is because, you know, you got to understand, once they went to Def Jam Icon, because I don't understand why some games do that. As the graphics get better, they feel like they need to outdo themselves and they end up doing too much, which is what I just said in my second point. and people talking about free roam and driving around and stuff, like, no, that's too much. You're adding too much to something that doesn't need, you know, added. But basically, you know, in Def Jam Icon, they took away the blazing moves and added the scratch in the air and you get hit by a car and all that stuff. That was stupid. Bring it right back to Def Jam Fight for New York style, where you get to choose from your 5 fighting styles or 4 fighting styles. Which was it? It was the Street Fighter, it was the martial arts, submission, wrestling, and kickboxing. So, you know, you need to keep it with those styles. Bring those styles back and be able to let people implement them how they want to. Now, for those who are like, man, they need to do something better, no. Take it back to the blazing moves. That's what made people, if I'm correct, y'all can go search it for me. Def Jam Fight for New York was like a 9 out of 10 or almost a perfect score because of how that game was built. Build off the game that almost got you a perfect score. Don't go away from it. Number 4, man. Number 4, I'm going to be talking about the potential bosses or antagonists I can see playing that villainous role within Def Jam Fight for Atlanta. Now, like I just said before when I explained it in my second point, just because it says based in Atlanta doesn't mean the villain or the main person has to be from Atlanta. Now, if you look at it, Crow, aka Snoop Dogg, was the main villain in Def Jam Fight for New York. Snoop Dogg clearly reps the West Coast and he is from California. So if he reps the West Coast, he's from California, why would he be the main boss in Def Jam Fight for New York? Like, you got to understand that, man. That's why I'm about to go into these particular names that I feel like can play the villainous role in Def Jam Fight for Atlanta. So let's get into it. Number 1, man. Number 1 would be Gucci Mane. Now, this actually makes sense for those who are of Atlanta because he's actually from there as well. But Gucci Mane has garnered so much respect that I feel like him being the top dog or him being the top villain in the game would make so much sense to a lot of people. Now, I can actually see Gucci playing that role very well. Number 2, man. Number 2 would be 2 Chainz. Get it? Number 2, 2 Chainz, whatever. Anyways, man, I can see 2 Chainz playing that boss as well, man. That also makes sense. He's from the South. He's from Atlanta, if I'm correct. But that makes so much sense, man. 2 Chainz is that OG, and due to him having so much respect and being that OG, I can see him being the top dog or the top villain in the game. Now, I'm gonna put it like this: if he is not the top dog, I feel like him and Gucci Mane need to switch roles. Like, if Gucci Mane is the top villain, I feel like you need to go through 2 Chainz. Like, 2 Chainz need to be the second to last, and then Gucci Mane got to be the second to last if 2 Chainz is the top dog. Number 3 would be the Game. The reason why I say the Game, man, because the Game is always in some controversial stuff, and not only that, but we have seen him play the villainous role plenty of times, not only in rap, but in a movie. You ever seen Waist Deep? If you've seen Waist Deep, you've seen the Game play that antagonist role and being able to, you know, be that last guy you got to go up against and give off that intimidating factor. I feel like the Game can play that role very well, and I would like to see him play that role. Number 4, man. Number 4 to me would be 50 Cent. And the reason why I say 50 Cent, because everybody know that 50 Cent is all about the drama. And we know how good of a villainous character, you know, 50 Cent can play. I can see him being the main antagonist. I mean, he's the main antagonist in his show Power. I mean, look at Kanan. I mean, that's 50 Cent. So seeing him play that role in this game will also make sense to me personally. Number 5. Number 5 would be Drake. Now, the reason why I say Drake, man, is because Drake has garnered so much respect and people like Drake so much to the point they can actually see him playing that role. And Drake has great acting skills. I can see him being the bad guy and, you know, telling people not to take over his clubs and stuff like that. And like I said, due to him having so much respect and doing so much in the industry, I feel like people wouldn't mind him being the boss on a game called Def Jam Fight for Atlanta. No one would be mad and be like, well, they need to make a game called Def Jam Fight for Toronto then. Like, no. I feel like he could actually play that role and being the, you know, the last character of the fight. I can see that coming from Drake. But I can see Drake also being more of the D-Mob versus Crow than actually the Crow versus the good guy. But y'all let me know who y'all can see as the top villains in the game, man. Let me know who you guys can see being the last boss in Def Jam Fight for Atlanta. Now, like I said before, man, to a lot of people, you gotta understand that just because the game says Def Jam Fight for Atlanta, it's not gonna only just have all those characters who are from Atlanta. Like, no, it's gonna be a lot of rappers. It's gonna be multiple rappers that agree to be in the game. Now, I'm also add this as my fifth point, and my fifth point is gonna be why I think the game will fail. And the reason why I think the game might fail is because rapper compensation. For some of y'all who are like, what do you mean by rapper compensation? Because some rappers might feel like, well, since I'm in the game and since my fan base so huge, they're going to be, the reason, them seeing me in the game are going to be the reason they buy a game. I feel like I should be compensated well enough. And it's like, no, it's not just you. It's multiple rappers in the game that's going to sell the game. Like the thought of people putting Tekashi 6ix9ine against somebody and getting his ass whooped by another rapper, like Tekashi 6ix9ine versus Chief Keef. Oh my God, so many people in Chicago are going to buy that game just to make Chief Keef or whoever else from Chicago whoop Tekashi 6ix9ine ass. Like somebody's going to buy it just for that. Seeing Lil Uzi Vert fight Rich the Kid or something, people are going to try to make that happen. You know what? I can actually see Lil Uzi Vert having a martial art style. Like I can see that, man. Lil Uzi Vert gonna have that martial artist style. He gonna be flipping and everything, man. I can see, cause you only get two to a team, man. Oh, I can see Migos. I can see Quavo having that martial art style. Takeoff having Street Fighter. No. Offset having Street Fighter and Takeoff having wrestling. Somebody gonna do Takeoff and or they gonna do Offset and Quavo versus Ray Sherman. They gonna do him versus Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy Wise. They gonna make them. That's gonna be a good tag fight. I like that. And also, I understand that EA Sports Big is no longer part of EA Sports. So this is not about EA Sports Big. This is about whatever company is willing to get this game and replicate it in the same fashion that Def Jam Fight for New York was made before. If the rapper compensation is not a problem, and all the rappers agree to be in the game, and they don't go too big-headed about getting their money and being in the game, I really think this game is going to be successful. Like I said, man, revisiting all my points, man, I feel like it should be Atlanta because Atlanta the hottest city, man. I feel like they shouldn't add no free roaming to a game that's only based in a wrestling concept. Don't add too much to a game because you're going to mess it up. That's like adding too much salt to food. I feel like they should just go back with the Def Jam Fight for New York way. Y'all understand who my bosses are. If rapper compensation is not a problem, I feel like the game will succeed. And also, man, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to, like I said before, man. Oh yeah, the stores and stuff, man. The stores, man. They just need to keep the stores. Just keep it where you can click it and just go to the store. Don't mind me driving to no damn store. Let me know what you guys think about the game, man. Those are all my opinions on this game. I really love Def Jam Fight for New York. I would really love to see those guys make a comeback. I just made a spit bubble. But still, let me know what you guys think about the game, how it should be made, what other ideas you guys have for the game, what characters you want to see fight, what characters you want to see go at it, which characters you want to see be villains, which character you want to see be on the good side of taking over the clubs, man. Until next time, man, it's your boy Pooh, CYGG, and I'm